We're live? Hey, we're live.
Where's the camera? Which one?
It's right there.
Thanks. Hi, we're live.
Am I supposed
Week
to?
16.
Right.
Are you doing the intro, Matt Harmon? It's Liz Loza and Matt Harmon with a little holiday edition of that halftime show that was once called Halftime with Harmon, but is no longer called that because it's more than halftime, and I'm here.
It's more than Harmon, which is what everybody can ask for. Everybody needs a little more than just Harmon. But we're going to have a lot of fun today. In addition to it being Week 16,
What?
you know, the Fantasy Championships, also like some cool playoff stuff going on.
Some real football implications.
Which you're going to have to hear about.
That's right.
Today, whether you like it or not, suckers.
Hey, you know, Todd Gurley owners are going to need a cocktail recipe that we're going to do because Todd Gurley's inactive. Adjust accordingly if you're watching this. You probably already heard, but your options are John Kelly, the rookie, who is impossible to take down, scored twice over the preseasons, weeks 2 and 3, key preseason weeks, or
C.J. Anderson.
Right.
Well, and I've got to ask you this because I was talking about this on the show formerly known as Halftime with Harmon about 15 minutes ago.
Oh.
Rest in peace. But what do you actually have any conviction between these two guys?
Oh yeah, I got a lot of conviction.
Oh man, because I was saying that anybody that's got conviction on this
cares about football.
No, you are a lot braver soul than I am. Is what I would say. But so all right, tell me what your conviction is. Where does your lean fall between these two guys?
Heavily towards John Kelly, heavily towards the rookie. To me, the acquisition of C.J. Anderson, who has been cut by 2 teams so far this season alone, tells me that the front office in Los Angeles finally got scurred about depth. A little late to the game, but it finally happened. They are now overcompensating, grabbing as many insurance policies as possible. I understand that the reports were that C.J. Anderson is likely to start over John Kelly, but Kelly knows the system. And even though running backs can enter systems rather quickly, Sean McVay's system ain't the easiest to understand.
Very good point, I think. Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, if Malcolm Brown was out there, I think we'd feel really good about him. But
right, but he has a shoulder injury.
Yes, he R.I.P. not there.
Yep.
But I'm a little tilted right now because I hyped Michael Gallup on Fantasy Football Live last week. Well, I did it last week, and he had 0 catches, and now he just scored a touchdown. So that's great. So 1 week too early. But anyways.
Also, John Kelly, I just want to make another point, if you don't mind. This is an opportunity for Sean McVay to get his rookie some reps heading into what we'd assume to be a postseason run, right? Like if they can get it together. The matchup is really solid against the Arizona Cardinals run defense. They're not a great unit, so I think John Kelly could do some damage, get some reps. This might be one of those unanswered prayers, silver lining sort of situations, assuming that Jared Goff isn't constantly schwitzing and can get the win.
Yeah, and shout out to Alex Wilk, producer at the NFL Network, who says, happy to see you repping our Rams, Harmon. Look, it is true that this year I am a lifelong Bears fan since March 2018. So I'm in on the Bears this year. Last year it was the Rams, which is how I got this sweater back at my previous place of employment. But I didn't get a free Christmas sweater from Yahoo Sports, so I'm back to what I was doing last year.
Our Rams, one of us, Alex, nice to meet you, by the way. You should introduce yourself to Matt's co-host. Is a season ticket holder to our Rams and is the one who brought this lovely Rams towel, which came as part of being a season ticket holder.
And one of us is just a fly-by-night, here today, gone tomorrow.
Size small if you're looking to buy more gifts.
Anyways, so yeah, it's interesting that we have the whole, Kelly-Anderson debate going. So it sounds like you say we should go John Kelly. If you have conviction...
I mean, shoot, I'm not... if you were forced... Here's a question. Would you start John Kelly, knowing there might be a timeshare with C.J. Anderson, over someone like Mike Davis, who's available in 80% of leagues. He's coming off of a career-high 8 reception game. The Kansas City Seahawks game has one of the highest point totals of the week. It's a I'll start all your dudes contest. There's no Rashad Penny.
I guess I would probably go Davis. I hate playing Mike Davis. But between the two, I'm going to go Anderson over Kelly, though. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
So you'd go C.J. Anderson over Mike Davis?
No.
Or no, you'd go Mike Davis, C.J. Anderson, John Kelly.
I'd want to almost start anybody from these late games, whether it's even like the 49ers backs, like Matt Breida, I would start over these Rams guys.
Yeah, but talk about availability, though.
I would start Doug Martin over any of these Rams guys. I would start any of the KC backs, obviously. And I guess either of the Seattle backs as well. I would play probably over these Rams players. But if I had to pick, because there are people crying about it in the chat room, if I had to pick between the two, it would be Anderson, and I would hate myself regardless. Because
so we're split. I say Kelly over Anderson. The guy who doesn't care about running that talent says Anderson over Kelly.
So let's talk about this, or let's move right into the drinking portion of the show.
We're drinking.
All right. So what's let's start with one of your cocktails.
Well,
do you have
were
your
the recipes printed out for me?
No, of course not.
By our producer?
Our producer is a rat. So
why don't we start with one of yours?
Well, all right, because I'm prepared.
Pick up the recipes then.
All right. So no, I don't like tasty food. All right. So the first thing we're gonna make. Do I want to go with my favorite thing or my least favorite thing?
Let's start with favorite. Let's just start with it.
Hard apple bourbon cocktail.
Yes.
Is what we're gonna make.
We're gonna have sloshy tummies real soon.
I brought my gym bag. I'm thinking I'm working out after this. So.
I saw you at the holiday party.
Roasted.
Might not be a bad idea.
Thank you, Liz. All right. So, how do you follow this?
You know what? Let's start with a white chocolate peppermint martini.
Okay. I thought we were starting with one of mine.
I know, but you're being real slow here. So, as I eat crow, we need to get some white chocolate liqueur.
Okay.
So that's right up front. Yep. And we need vanilla vodka.
Make sure the labels are turned backwards so we don't get fired.
Oh, okay. And we need vanilla. We're just going to use regular vodka because who has the money to splurge? We've been buying presents for everyone.
Which one of these does it make a difference?
Let's start with some Smirnoff.
All right. Can't say the brand.
Oh, I just did it. Let's start with this red-topped one because it's the holidays. And do we have some creme de cacao?
What the hell is that?
Creme de cacao.
Hey, Ravi. What does that mean?
We don't have. Oh, so we don't even have all the recipes. Okay. Do we have half and half?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Let's turn that around. Heaven forbid they know we got the half and half somewhere. And then some white chocolate syrup. Do we have? Oh, we need peppermint schnapps. We have peppermint schnapps?
Dude.
Oh, Ravi, Jesus.
This is going really well. It's going really well so far. Here.
Okay.
I got a glass.
Here's a glass. A red holiday glass for me and a green for my fantastic co-host. And we're supposed to rim the edge of our cocktail. Do we have a plate? All right. Fantastic. So there are some crystals, some sugar there. Why don't we pour that down?
Rainbow cocktail rim
Well, we're
sugar.
supposed to have crushed peppermint candies or candy canes, but since we don't have all of the ingredients,
look at what this clown got us.
This is disgusting. Are we allowed to show the brand of this? Forget candy canes when you can have those circular mints that they give out free at doctors' offices.
Oh, man.
So put some of that down.
Taylor Heineke threw an interception.
Yeah, Taylor Heineke's gutting it through an elbow injury. Matt, come on.
I'm looking at the chat.
And we're supposed to, make this wet, and I don't really know how to do that.
Oh, I got an idea. Oh,
what are we going to do? Because we have to, do this.
Give me
Oh, we're going to go a little 9.5 weeks here. Got it.
What?
Oh, that's probably not PG.
9.5 weeks, is that a...
This is an old person movie.
There. You're...
This is super gross. All right. Then you just spread out your sugar and you rim your glass to make it really pretty. Ideally, I think you're supposed to actually do this with vodka. Am I allowed to say vodka?
You already said it, so.
Okay. You know what? I have an idea here. This may not be the right thing to do, but I feel like, if you're going to put it in it, we're going to put it in it, right? Oops. Okay. So maybe we just put some of this in here, and then we really do it up, right? Because it's Christmas. Oh, look, it's look at that.
It's really good.
It did not work the best, but yeah, looks great. Here, it looks like can you hand me a bar towel, which is Rams themed as well? All right, so next we prepped our martini glass by rimming the edge of the glass. Oh, we're actually supposed to rim it with white chocolate syrup, then dip it into the peppermint candies. Oh, well, it's rimmed.
I'm over here rimming it.
Now
with
we're going
vodka.
to add the white chocolate syrup, or the white chocolate liqueur. And we need...
Let's just go into the shaker.
1.5 ounces. So, can you hand me the shot? Nope, that's... Nope.
What? Oh.
I think this is 1.5 ounces. We're going to go with this being 1.5 ounces. Because it looks like this, I bet, is a... Oh, see, ½ ounce. Oh, actually, it says 1 ounce. So...
Someone said, worst bar ever, and it was Kendall.
1 ounce. ½ ounce. What? Yes. Hand me a paper towel, please. Making sure this is turned around. Okay. Now we're going to add 1.5 ounces of
that smells very good.
Vodka.
That does not smell good.
But this is a great way to like even clean it out. Okay. Now, we're not using creme de cacao. 1 ounce of the half and half. I always like to shake my milk. I don't know why, but I feel like you should.
It's more sanitary, I think.
Right? Oh, can you pop this off, please?
Yeah.
Someone texting you? You getting calls?
No, I'm getting alerts about football.
Oh. Well, you can keep talking about football while I do the next steps if something has occurred.
Someone asked, Sammy Towles asked from Twitter, who will be the best wide receiver 3 in 2019? I like Deshaun Hamilton from Denver. People know I'm a big fan of his if they've followed Reception Perception. Talked about him on Fantasy Football Live a couple weeks ago.
Talked about him this morning.
Oh, yeah, you guys did talk about him a little this morning. I love Deshaun Hamilton. I think he's a great route runner. He's a natural fit in the slot.
Did we get peppermint schnapps?
No.
No peppermint schnapps either?
You just drop a... You're just gonna drop a lifesaver in there, like a real professional.
Okay, can we have some ice in here?
Oh yeah, I got the ice.
Bye, Matt. There's no ice?
I'm gonna have to use my friggin' hand.
Ew! There's not like a tongs?
Wait, you're
right there. Yeah.
Okay. Here.
Maybe still hand me that.
This?
Yeah, actually, good idea.
Yeah. Why don't you put it in there? I'm so glad that they set the dress. They dressed the set. You're the most. Great. All right, now we're gonna put some ice in here. You can keep talking about Deshaun Hamilton. Very incredible route runner.
Let's use the damn tongs that we have. Yeah, I think that's a good call. That's why I said it. So that's one option. Oh man, we've got Demaryius Thomas getting carted off. That stinks.
Oh, that was another guy that you liked this week.
I did like him this week. I've also been told the Jaguars have mercifully benched Cody Kessler in favor of Blake Bortles.
That happened a while ago.
Yeah, well, it was 9 minutes ago. Okay, all right, well, just. Also, Christian McCaffrey broke the reception records for a running back, which is great to see. Shaking away.
Give me a paper towel to just. I don't really know if this is okay. Good bit, Matt. Good bit. I'm just gonna shake it like this.
Aren't you supposed to use one hand and like? Hey, did you ever actually work like at a bar or a restaurant?
Yeah, I was a cocktail waitress actually.
Oh, I could tell.
And
now don't you use one of these things?
Yes, perfect. All right.
We've got 2 of them.
So I think you just pour it out like that. Hand me your martini glass, boo.
Is that what it's supposed to look like?
Sure. Just like it looked in the picture. Well, maybe if we had all the ingredients, we wouldn't be short. So,
that's kind of nice.
Cheers to Deshaun Hamilton.
Deshaun Hamilton in 2019,
Wide
baby.
receiver 3 potential.
Tastes like sugar milk.
That's very. It tastes like a White Russian, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
yeah.
What was this called again?
This was called white chocolate peppermint martini.
I mean, I taste the white chocolate. I taste the vodka on the freaking edge of my glass. I would drink this.
I mean, if like we were given some real time and could like put white chocolate fudge like we were supposed to coat the glass, like this is a pretty good. Are we posting recipes for people? Here's the thing.
You should, post a link to the recipe, Rabbi.
If you want to, like, make your holiday party, if you want a holiday theme beyond getting lit, any white chocolate or dark chocolate liqueur mixed with vodka and a little candy cane garnish, whether it's just even like a little candy cane, those mini ones that they give you at the bank for free, on the edge of a glass, it's a great way to do it.
This is tasty.
Isn't that bad?
Yeah, I would
And that
this.
was,
And that was without 50% of the
the
ingredients.
ingredients.
So now, how do we make?
Yours.
Well, how do we make this with? Is one of our illustrious helpers gonna clean?
Or
the
do you have
damn
do you
shaker?
have glasses from maybe the cafeteria?
Yes. Well, you have
All right.
do you have 2 more glasses or 1 more?
0 more.
Or there's 1 more.
Oh, 1 more. Okay. Well,
So Yankee, we talked about C.J. Anderson or Kelly, and we're split. Matt
We are
over here
split.
says Anderson,
but
I
with
say
no
Kelly.
conviction. I have no conviction. Liz, if you really wanna buy into something, Liz has conviction on John Kelly.
But you know that he was one of those. You
Yeah.
watched me over the
Oh,
preseason.
yeah.
Like I've been high on this kid's talent since.
Just before he was drafted, right?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, and you aren't alone there. There were a lot of people that really liked his ability as a runner, and I liked him too. Watched him on, I just happen to think it doesn't matter, but I did.
Right.
I do like the way he plays the game. He's very elusive. People kind of made some comparisons to some other day 3 guys that were drafted or second, third round guys that were elusive or whatever. So yeah, I mean, there is definitely reason to like John Kelly as a player. I just wonder if the coaching staff trusts him or not. And if they don't, then I think they might go with the veteran. Or you know what? This might just be a Jared Goff bounce back game.
Your lips to God's ears.
I hope so. I
We
mean,
need one
as
of
a
those.
Rams fan in 2017, I would past life me would love to see
I do think that makes
Jared
a good
Goff.
point because I thought that maybe Todd Gurley would be active if McVay didn't have more confidence in Goff. Because if you noticed in matchups throughout the season in which the Rams have faced soft run defenses, they haven't really let Goff air it out, especially post Cooper Kupp injury, like for real injury, not the in and out injury. So,
The in and out injury.
well, because he like hurt himself and then he came back and then he clearly wasn't 100%. So, I think that this may be an opportunity, or McVay is viewing it as an opportunity to A, get Gurley some rest, and B, build up Goff's confidence again. Though Arizona, pretty solid against the pass. If he wasn't able to do it against Philadelphia, you've got to be worried. But, Michael Bennett and Fletcher Cox had amazing standout performances last week.
What do you think has gone wrong with Goff over the last few games?
I think it's mental.
You think it's mental?
I
Okay.
do. I think the pressure and the stakes of the season have all come in. This is a guy who's not thrown a ton of interceptions, a pretty clean passer. So
Yeah, I mean, over the last 3 weeks, 1 touchdown to 7 interception.
well,
That's
he
still bad.
doesn't have his binky. You don't have Cooper Kupp, and third down conversions have dropped dramatically since Cooper Kupp was out, and Gurley's not 100%.
And I think, to me, the biggest thing is the increase in pressure, number of sites
and the lack of health, like the offensive line isn't as fresh.
That's what I'm saying.
and they're older.
All the pressure that he's been under, and the Eagles are a good pass rushing team. Arizona, I mean, they have Chandler Jones. They have some guys there that can get it done. So that is something to keep your eye on. But all right, we're jumping into my first cocktail. And mine is, what the hell is this called? A hard apple bourbon cocktail. This website calls it the holiday cocktail. So not just any holiday cocktail, but the holiday cocktail, Ravi. Pay attention. All right. So first we start off, I should have cleaned this too. But
We have another one.
yeah, this one's very accurate.
That is actually a Jägermeister shot glass, but I thought they looked like reindeer,
Yo, they do.
right? Well, isn't the Jägermeister? Yeah. It is a reindeer.
It is reindeer. All right.
I love Jägermeister. Can we get some holiday, those of you who craft holiday cocktails, can we get some some Jaeger themed?
8 ounces of hard apple cider. That's this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a bottle opener? Of course, drunk on the go here. I mean, I have mine, but they're, I have mine too, but my keys aren't in this building.
What? Where are they?
In the other building.
Oh, I thought you meant in a ladies' building. No, you forgot your keys.
That's
So you
inappropriate.
were okay.
8 ounces of hard apple cider. So is this an ounce?
I mean, I know for sure that this is.
And this looks like a little more. So very specific here.
I don't think you're going to want to shake that. It's more of a stirring type situation.
I'm going to stir it in this glass.
Okay. Well, we have a stirrer.
Yeah.
Right here.
I was
Keep
definitely
going.
not. I'm tilted.
Why are you God, you live tilted.
I'm not going to shake this. I'm not a psycho.
Let's talk about New England for a second.
Okay.
I'll talk about New England. Without Josh Gordon, I thought potentially that Rob Gronkowski might see an uptick in targets, even given his health. That has not been the case at all against the Bills. Now, you know, there's hey, do you know where Rob Gronkowski is from?
Buffalo.
Oh wow! But the narrative street has not worked out particularly well in this one, as he's missed all 3 of his targets.
Oh, it's because he's washed.
Sure. But I thought without Josh Gordon, he might have some more volume, despite his being, quote,
Fair.
washed. Instead, it's been Sony Michel who has carried the load for the Patriots. 18 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, James White even scored in this one, so...
Oh, how great is that? Like, we've been telling everybody all...
But without Josh Gordon, this makes sense. Like, this is... It is not, like, football. Forget fantasy football. Football is not a 4-month-long thing. It is a week-to-week proposition. And so as things change, it's a living ecosystem. Other things are affected. And so James White, of course, gets some love. Julian Edelman also 70 yards for a touch. So I would say keep an eye on that Patriots backfield moving forward if you're playing for DFS reasons in the postseason.
It's hard to tell what brand of bourbon this is. You know what I mean?
Because you're not allowed to say it.
Was this 4? Yeah, it was 4. All right. Do we have honey?
Yes.
Where is it? Oh, here it is.
Can someone please take this sugar that looks like sushi roe?
Yeah, that's actually got to go. Good thing Ravi opened all the ingredients. Did you do any work for this?
No. I need to burn time, so.
Burn time? Okay. I need 2 tablespoons of honey.
Give I
know how to eyeball 2 tablespoons.
That's not 2. Yeah, that would be 2. Yeah.
See if you're paying attention.
Here.
I'm not done yet.
Cinnamon.
I got a lot more stuff.
Cinnamon and sugar. Shoo skis. You need cinnamon and sugar. All right. What about more football talk? Let's see. Minnesota, Kirk Cousins having a bit of a bounce back. 3 touchdowns, over 250 yards. It's nice to know that he can get it done when there's 0 pass rush, right? That's the minimum that we want out of Kirk Cousins. I was surprised that Stephon Diggs scored, frankly. I thought that he'd see more Darius Slay.
Well, Darius Slay left real quick with an injury, and then right after that happened, he scored a touchdown.
Oh, well, then that makes sense. So process over result, I was right. And you've got the red zone reindeer, Kyle Rudolph, finding the end zone for the first time since week 3. I feel like this late season, like there have been a lot of players like Derrick Henry and Kyle Rudolph that came on once the playoffs began, but maybe didn't get enough of their, quote, owners to the playoffs to utilize them. So, Dalvin Cook ripping off giant runs. And this is, I believe, Snacks Harrison was supposed to be active for this one. So
yes.
Kyle Rudolph actually has 2 touchdowns, 121 yards. Adam Thielen converting 5 of 6 for 80, so nice to see him do something. Nice matchup against Nevin Lawson here, but, you know.
Do we have lime? Yes, we do.
Oh, do we have a knife to cut said lime with?
Yeah, I got it. Get this sugar out of my face.
All right. What are other fantasy storylines that have popped for you this week?
Well, Jamal Williams hit. That was nice to see.
Both he and McGuire hit in the same
And
contest.
Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson was the guy that
3rd week in a row.
Yeah.
Touchdown for 3 weeks straight. He and Sam
so
Darnold.
Glad we got a good knife for this. I don't blame you, Kendall.
What if you compare players to drinks?
Okay.
So what drink would Rob Gronkowski be?
A 40.
Nah.
Because I used to like it, but now I have
Zima.
Now I have self-respect.
He's Zima.
Like
back in the day, it was real hot, but now it's just flat.
I feel like he's like trash can punch, you know? Like
Jungle Juice?
Jungle Juice, yeah.
Everclear.
Apple slice for garnish. I'm not slicing a friggin' apple. Give me a break.
No. Let's start up.
What about Phillip Rivers?
Oh, what is Phillip Rivers?
What's like kind of
Phillip Rivers like
drink?
a shot ski because there's like a million of them on one. You're just doing, yeah. Or I think Phillip Rivers is like a standard gin martini. Like it's stiff, it doesn't move a lot. It's a classic. It's not a favorite, but it won't ever let you down, and it's just considered like solid choice.
I like that.
He's like a glass of just wild turkey.
That's true.
Okay.
A little bit more of this in there.
Someone's asking C.J. Anderson.
Damian
Williams.
Yeah, I gotta go
You're going to go Damian Williams is like a top 14 play this week.
I would agree with that. And it sounds like Demaryius Thomas has a torn Achilles.
Oh, that might be a career. He's
That might
31.
That might be it. Also, looks like John Ross, I think, scored a touchdown.
For the Bengals, huh?
He has 20 career catches and 7 touchdowns this year. Obviously, all of his touchdowns came this year.
Nice to see C.J. Uzomah coming through.
All right, so I've stirred up my drink here. We'll see if it's any good at all. Seems like it's going to be very sweet.
You pouring them into... Oh, here. Let me... Well, we can use these.
You want to use this fancy?
Wait, go ahead and use that one. I don't care. I'm not bossing you around.
I'll read off again.
Yep. You had a second one. What do you do with Kyle Rudolph next year? You know, I was really disappointed in his production because John DeFilippo had that monster when he was the offensive coordinator in Cleveland. He led Gary Barnidge to a career high year, and we were never heard from. Oh, stop! Don't.
Gary Barnidge.
You're just like straight ripping another show's bit right now. It's not even that like incredible of a bit.
It's a nice little homage.
Okay.
I don't really get it either. Anyways.
But John DeFilippo obviously had his struggles. I wonder now. Now that he's been fired so late in the season too.
So late in the season, almost seems personal.
Almost.
I think it's definitely more personal. All right. So here's our apple bourbon cider cocktail thing.
Yay, cheers. The holiday cocktail. It smells real intense.
It's very intense. It tastes like apple cider. What do you think? I'm not a fan. I don't like that at all, really. Yeah, I just listen, buddy. I googled.
This tastes like bile. That is what it tastes like. It just tastes like
gross.
something I threw up yesterday. Oh my god! What?
Ugh, that's rough. All right, well, if that's if that is the holiday cocktail, you're having a bad holiday.
Deshaun Hamilton or Josh Reynolds in PPR. Deshaun for me.
I agree. Oof, I don't want to drink that ever again.
Nope, we're putting this one. You like my White Russian better, right?
Way better than that.
Okay. My turn?
Yeah, your turn.
Do you want to clear some of these other ingredients out?
Yeah.
Yes, you should probably clean some of these utensils as well. If you can just,
You know what? Let's go another white Christmas because we have some of these. How about since we've had
a white Christmas
are we allowed
here
to say
in
vodka? I forget again. Yeah, we're allowed to say. Okay, since we've keep asking, we've had vodka, we've had bourbon. Let's go tequila next with a white Christmas margarita.
That's exciting.
All right, should we do it? What? We can't say Christmas?
No, there's tequila here.
Oh, we don't have tequila.
I think don't like we all. Isn't that something we need for one of mine too?
Yep. The problem is I picked up the Tito's.
Thinking it was tequila?
Correct.
All right, well, let's do white Christmas margaritas with vodka.
Do we have to? Can we just skip? I feel like we should just skip both yours and mine that have
All right,
tequila
great.
in it.
How about Fireball hot toddies.
Let's do that.
Matt, if I could curl up next to anyone by the fire during this holiday season with Fireball hot toddy, it would be Charlie.
I agree. Good choice.
You guys thought I was going to get somewhere, but it didn't go there. Do we have champagne? We can make some mimosas. I can throw together some mimosas.
Liz, he didn't even get stuff that you asked for. Why do you think he's going to have extras of things?
I mean, hot sauce and champagne are two things I always carry in my bag.
Are you serious?
I do always carry hot sauce, yes.
You serious, Clark?
So let's do this. Let's make this Fireball hot toddy.
Okay, well, let's get this random cinnamon whiskey. That's definitely just random.
I can't say Fireball.
But no, Liz. Theoretically, you could just be talking about.
You know what, Matt? Give me that other reindeer head.
Oh, we got a nice shout out from a couple people in the chat that said, "Hey there, thanks for the help this season." You're welcome.
You are welcome.
I'm glad that you made it.
Give me the other.
What do you want?
No. The other reindeer head. Or did he just go for a? You know what, Matt? I think we should just start things off different. Come here. Give me your. We're gonna do something. We gotta loosen up. It's week 16.
If we're gonna do this, could I have just taken the other bourbon, not this?
All right. Cheers. Fantasy lit
to John Kelly. And we all just got fired.
I really like that. I don't know why people dog it so much, but cinnamon whiskey is an incredible combining of flavors. It's like big red gum with a kick.
That's a good question.
What?
CJ or Doug Martin? We already talked about this. Doug Martin. I thought it was a better question at first glance. Someone asked, is this the Food Network? No, this is Yahoo Sports.
Oh, I don't know if we're supposed to say our name like that.
Brought to you by Twitch. Brought to you by Ravi. Also, Tevin Coleman is questionable to return with a
Oh, no, I'm going to lose this wager to... we're supposed to make this hot. So last week, if you guys watched for our extravaganza of Brussels sprouts and gift buying, I was quite under the weather. I should have had this cocktail because it's supposed to be very helpful while you're not feeling particularly well. You know what? I'm going to find a different one. Hold on.
You need hot water for this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me go grab some.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Yeah, we have hot water.
All right.
In the meantime, we've got the Giants still leading over the Colts 27 to 21. The Giants look like they're about to punt the ball away, which is exciting. Thank you, Kendall, so much. Really appreciate it. You are the backbone of this program right now. Considering the other producer forgot 35 of the ingredients.
For real.
And, just really laid us out to dry here. In other news, what do you think about Sam Darnold? What are your thoughts on Sam Darnold?
I think he's been coming on over the last few weeks since he returned from injury, and maybe the break was the best thing that happened to him. And I also appreciate that he's been developing rapport with his receivers. I think if Quincy Enunwa is really key. If he can stay healthy, then that provides him a tight end-like receiver that he can use as a security blanket. The thing I've liked most about Darnold in these past few weeks is seeing his anticipation.
Yeah.
Right? Because during the draft process, that was the thing that impressed me the most about Darnold, was that he could, you wouldn't see him fluster very easily. And I think that the game has slowed down for him, you will, over this past few weeks. So next year, I mean, this is going to be a complete regime shift, you have to imagine. Todd Bowles is out. Lots of things are changing. So you want to get a young offensive mind who can work. Maybe John DeFilippo lands here.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting call.
Right?
And it's tough, too, because I think a lot of head coaching jobs are going to open up.
They're all going to carousel, though.
Right. So I just hope the Jets don't get left out in the cold, because I would say that the Browns' job is more appealing, the Packers' job is more appealing. It looks like the Panthers' job is actually not going to open up. Yeah. So I just hope that the Jets don't get lost in the crowd at this point in terms of the coaching staff. Well, we have some hot water now.
We need 8 ounces, but that's fine. 2 ounces of Fireball, of cinnamon whiskey, a half tablespoon of honey, and a half of a lemon juiced, and
All right.
All right.
I've got the honey here.
Okay. And give me some new glasses. We don't need to use this, I don't think.
Okay.
What's going on?
This is so strong.
What is that one? Is that the...
Whiskey cough syrup that you made.
Oh.
Oh.
All right.
From the bottle? Oh, no. Can't do that.
Yeah, it was gross, right?
That was really bad.
Wolf is right.
Cardinals' job, somebody asked about whether that's going to open up. I would think that... Do you think Steve Wilk's going to be one and done? I kind of think so.
I think he kind of hung himself, if you will, a little bit. He was like, I deserve to be fired. Don't say that, dude.
Yeah, don't say that. Don't give them ideas. Yeah. They'll fire you anyways. Don't let them know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I really, really like Josh Rosen coming in. And, you know, if you listen to the podcast, then you know that I've been, like, stubborn about his talent. I also think people are really... This could be a franchise that does a complete 180 in 2019 because I think a lot of people have forgotten about the fact that A.Q. Shipley, the team's center, went out, which is like the fulcrum. We talked about Ryan Kelly last week and what he meant for the run-blocking piece in Indianapolis. But Shipley tore his ACL in, like, August?
Very early.
I think,
yes.
like, August or July even. And so I think that you have a rookie quarterback under center. You have... a new regime. You have, who was that fool that was started the season with them and then got fired and we got Leftwich now?
Mike McCoy.
I got Mike McCoy, like, making grandpa calls, not getting DJ to the edge. He's coming off of an injury. So there's a lot of, like, skittishness and greenness. So I think if that offensive line was shored up, then you could see a complete bounce back for this whole franchise.
I think that's a really fair point. I just don't have a ton of optimism right now. I mean, they're so broken on a number of different levels offensively. You're struggling.
Christian Kirk looked really good.
Yeah, I wish
until he got hurt.
Yeah, I wish he had a little more time on the field.
I think the question is, will Larry Fitzgerald come back, or does Kirk, even though Kirk played the outside but is meant to be,
they trade him
to Minnesota so that he can finish at home?
I mean, maybe. Just get him out of there.
I mean,
we got one question from Twitter, again, about Rams running back situation. Kelly or CJ or Deshaun Hamilton tomorrow night. And in that situation, I would definitely go with Deshaun Hamilton.
It's a PPR format? I mean, if this is...
Especially if it's PPR, yeah.
If it's standard scoring, I might still have to lean towards one of those running backs.
You're very bold, Liz.
I mean, Deshaun is the floor option. I don't know, actually. What's the matchup again?
It's in Oakland.
Oh, right.
They're not good.
I'm aware. Yeah, I think I'd go Deshaun. Also, like, Deshaun might be the only member of that offense with anything to play for. Because this is a lame duck team. It's a lame duck coach, you know.
Yeah, that's a job that's definitely opening up. And I was just reading that apparently the rumor is that Vance Joseph could be a candidate for the Bengals defensive coordinator job.
Oh, Christ.
Candidate for the defensive coordinator job in Cincinnati, and if they don't fire Marvin Lewis.
Also, I read that Jim Caldwell is ready to make his return
back in the mix.
Coaching. On that note,
is this
cheers?
What is this again?
This is our our cinnamon whiskey hot toddy.
This looks like hot piss.
I love this. You don't like it?
It's all right.
This tastes like Theraflu, but good. Ooh! You can tell this one. I haven't eaten lunch yet either. I've had a piece of pumpkin loaf and a gingerbread cookie all day.
You want some pretzels?
Are those the ones with the creepy cheese on it? That's not real cheese?
It's the ones from the dispensers out there.
What is that white powder coating on them?
I think it's just salt or,
I thought it was like cheese stuffs.
I hope not.
Anyway, this is good. I'll drink yours if you don't like. I'm going to make another one of these. Can we have more hot water, please? Okay. I could totally put a tea bag in here, though. Oh, this could be really cute, too, if you wanted to get, like, a little like, presentation-wise. If you got a little teapot, put the hot water and all the ingredients in it in a little tea bag, like a holiday tea bag, you know? The Celestial Seasonings has those holiday teas.
Mine tastes a little too, like, watery.
Well, you know what? I'm not a mixologist here, so...
No, I think you did a good job.
Thanks. I really like this one. This one's a winner. This one, I think, might affect my tummy a little bit.
Yeah, anything too sweet is...
Yeah, and milky. Like, I mean, if they made, like, a nice almond, like a lactate half and half, I don't know if they do that. Like, or an almond. I only drink almond milk.
Oh, you
I live
do?
in LA, yeah.
I don't really...
Help! Davis or Patrick in the flex?
I know. I'm assuming this is Mike Davis and Tim Patrick.
Oh, Mike Davis.
Yeah, Tim Patrick is the ceiling play. He's a guy who gets a lot of deep targets. You know, it's against a really bad secondary, bad defense in Oakland. But I think if you're looking for a little more security, I think Davis is that barely, even though there's really no floor there either. So, sucks to be here week 16. Those are your only options? Come on, man.
At least you're here.
How'd you get here?
At least you are here in the dance. Go for it.
Here in the dance. Okay, so I get to make my last one now. Very fun.
My tummy's all warm.
Yeah, I feel sick.
You do? I don't feel sick.
I don't feel great.
I would make another one of those. I think I'm going to make another one of those. This is good. I'm really disappointed that we weren't able to, like, fully get this White Russian, this Christmas White Russian under. Mm-hmm. What are you doing next?
I might throw up.
You're going to make an eggnog, a Kahlua egg. I mean... Are you going to throw up?
No, I might. This is a gingerbread eggnog recipe. I'm getting a little hot. I got to take the sweater off.
Are you really?
Yeah.
What's wrong with
I don't know. My stomach does not feel good. All right, so back to this.
Don't ever talk to me, please. You've got like pit stains. You're like.
That's because I'm sweating. I might vomit on camera.
What happened to you? Which one was it?
I think it was the warm piss.
I love this.
She's a big fan of the warm piss.
I totally love them too.
Thoughts on Houston versus Philadelphia?
I think that Michael Bennett and Fletcher Cox are playing great football. Deshaun Watson's line can't pass block. He's still holding on to the ball too long. But that secondary
Nelson
is
Aguilar's
certainly
had a nice game.
beatable. I guess Nick Foles is the question. Like, can he do this? Is Nick Foles only good in the playoffs because he's only good when people aren't relying on him for real? Even though they're relying on him the most, it's like, it's almost like the reverse of the stakes are being of high because he's like released from the pressure of having to carry the team, and it's just a constant Hail Mary. Maybe he works better, like Joe Flacco in those Hail Mary situations.
Yeah, the Eagles just basically need to just keep him and Carson Wentz around forever, and
they can do the.
They can just alternate. Like Carson plays the first half of the year, and then he just comes in and wins the Super Bowl.
4 touchdowns. Nick Foles has 400 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Texans. My goodness. It was kind of cool to see Darren Sproles and Mike Trout do a bro hug,
Darren Sproles, what year is this,
He's 35. At the Super Bowl last year, I talked to Frank Reich, and I asked him about Darren Sproles because he was so high. Darren Sproles was obviously inactive because he had been put on IR earlier in the season. And heading into the season, Frank Reich had talked up Darren Sproles relentlessly. And so I asked him on media night if he was bummed that his bro, basically his dude, wasn't able to go in the big game. And all he did was talk about Darren Sproles' conditioning and how he is one of the, toughest, grittiest, important to the locker room, there was a lot of coach speak in there, but I also think, that's Frank Reich. That's who he is. It's not trying to be a bit. He just believes all of the things. And so I feel like that's bared out because last week Wendell Smallwood scored twice against the Rams, and this week Darren Sproles is in the spot. So it's tough to navigate from a fantasy perspective, but there's no doubting that when Sproles is on the field that he is leading the backfield in ethos at least.
Yeah, I feel you.
How you doing?
Patriots clinched the AFC East. I feel better now.
Okay.
How many ounces are in a cup? 16?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because this says I'm...
No, 8 ounces in a cup.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, 8 ounces in a cup. I'm just going to keep drinking my hot toddy. Woo.
Hot
Did you get all your
something.
holiday shopping done?
Yes, I did.
You want to tell the people that you texted me?
Yeah, I texted Liz after she... Well, wasn't that the point of the show?
I didn't know if it was a bit for the show, if it was real life, but that's what you guys should know, that this is really authentic here.
This is really authentic. I actually went out and got all of the gifts.
Did you? Even the crossbody?
Which one was that?
The purse for your sister?
That's... I hope she's not watching. She's definitely not watching. But
okay.
Yeah, that is what I got her. And then I got a group gift for her and her boyfriend. I got them a nice custom wine decanter thing.
Oh, nice.
So.
Nice. And did you get the thing for your dad that we talked? I don't know if your dad's watching. So.
My dad is probably not watching.
But I think you got him a BARCART, not that your dad can't spell.
No, I got... Yeah, right. Listen, he can spell. Oh, I got myself a bar cart.
And that's what you were waiting for your dad to help put together.
But I put it together myself. But
got it.
Yeah, well, I was
the
day after our holiday bowling party, so I was in about as good a shape as I am right now.
And did you get the lamps for your ma?
Yes, I did.
Oh, sweet.
I think she'll think that's cute.
So yes, last week I was making legitimate and actual holiday recommendations for Matt's family. So blame me if you don't like his presents. I'm surprised they were getting. Did you pay extra for shipping? Do you have to express?
I had to express one of them.
Okay.
One of them, the thing that we did talk about for my dad, the like
pearls?
wine. No, the pearls I was able to get, but like the table was like back ordered for like April. I was like, well, I don't think that's gonna get there in time for Christmas.
So what did you do instead?
Got him a shaving thing that he asked for.
Oh, okay.
So that was easy.
For Christmas, what he asked for.
Yeah.
So I just want, if anyone's following the little wager that Brad Evans and I made on FFL, he told me that Alfred Blue was definitely, defiantly, don't be an idiot, Loza, going to outproduce Tevin Coleman, in which case I was like, what are you talking about? This is insanity. You've got Donta Foreman active, even with Lamar Miller out. There's no way. Tevin Coleman has exited this contest, correct?
Correct.
And has still put up 11 more yards than Alfred Blue. So,
how many does Alfred Blue have? Because you know about my Christmas trend. Apparently.
Yeah, well, your Christmas trend is about touches, not...
Yes, not production. Although, to be fair, in those 4 games that I talked about, he scored 3 touchdowns in those 4 games. In the other game, he ran for 100 yards.
You and I also talked about how Christmas came early.
Christmas came early, and it looks like Christmas came early because he only has 8 touches. It's very sad. The Alfred Blue trend is going to come to an end.
8 touches for 14 yards, and then via the air, 4 catches for 26 yards. 14 plus 26 is 40. That's 11 fewer than Tevin Coleman, and Tevin Coleman's not even playing. So Evans, suck it. Team Huevos, no thank you. Team Melons, I think so.
All right. We're having fun.
All right.
Okay.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah.
It was just the Ram sweater.
Yeah,
got you spits. It was,
got because I wasn't repping my Bears. Anyways, so we're back to this. Now I need a
I am like legit drinking this like it's. I love it. I think that cinnamon whiskey is very underrated. I don't understand why everyone's like, ew, it's so disgusting. You're so disgusting. It's like antifreeze. You guys have clearly not tasted antifreeze.
Hey, Ravi, I hate to ask, but...
they don't have it.
Molasses? Did you get any molasses?
Oh, that he got.
That's a hard no.
He skipped the tequila, but the molasses flew to Vermont for.
Honey?
Be creative.
Okay. Well,
what is this you're creating, anyway? Oh, this is the nog.
Yeah.
The gingerbread eggnog.
Great.
I don't really like eggnog. How come at the holidays, all of the food things require extra cream? Like... what do we know about dairy products and the human digestive system? And what do we know about older folks? And what do we know about the holidays? I don't want to be locked in a room with my aging relatives after they've eaten or consumed a lot of dairy products because it's going to get stanky.
Oh, God. This
Yeah,
thing is a little busted here.
Listen, right, Pier 1 Imports.
Shout out to Pier 1.
I was the voice of Tier 1 in Portugal last.
Were you really?
Yeah. I had a 2-year long, all their voiceover. I was their voice.
This is a mess.
I don't think you got it down all the way. So where are your moves? Weren't you going to talk to me about some moves?
Please, I don't have any moves. I can already tell that this is going to definitely make me sick. Got that one. I'm supposed to top this with whipped cream. How do you feel about that? No whipped cream for you?
So the point they took away from Goff this past
week... I don't care.
Oh, okay. I guess Matt doesn't care.
Don't care about your fantasy team losing points. Argue with someone else. I'll tell you a fun story about that later.
Later, like not on camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, or we're just going...
Here, I'll hold this.
Good idea.
Oh, it looks like a latte.
Yeah. Well, like you said, it's all friggin' dairy products. And
Can I do the whipped cream, please?
Yeah.
Can I do it in your mouth?
No.
Damn. Can I do yours?
Yeah. There's your garnish.
Thank you.
All right, that's a little much, don't you think?
I wanted everyone to see it past the opaque glass.
Well, how am I supposed to get this out of here?
Smells like Christmas.
I'm going to get frickin' whipped cream all over my face now.
Yeah. Do it. Hey, ladies. Oh, it's in there. Super in there.
It tastes all right. This is
Oh, I don't like the smell of that stuff.
low.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. I need a spoon. Okay. We're going to take all this off. I don't like any of that. Put that on the white
That's
rice.
not that bad.
I really don't like dairy that much. Like the smell of all
So
that dairy.
what we've learned today so far, Liz, is that we should never make holiday cocktails because they all kind of suck.
This is not... It's thick. It's real thick.
It's THIC.
Ooh,
That's for
ooh,
sure.
ooh. This is like Liz Loza Dynamite Night 8th grade thick. Wow.
What?
Please explain.
Please explain. You know, some of us peaked a little later in life, let's say.
Amen. And apparently some of us are regressing.
What are we going to eat for lunch to match all this?
I ordered a sandwich.
I ordered a turkey burger and curly fries. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, I have to say, I think that was my favorite one.
I still like this hot dog.
Well, I don't know. That apparently did not sit well with me.
No, you started sweating real fast.
Yeah. Let me tell you. All right, so now I'm going to make my favorite cocktail.
Is it neat?
Merry Christmas, idiots.
Merry Christmas, idiots.
So, all in all, I think what we got out of this stream was that...
Let's make some predictions for next year.
Yeah, let's make some predictions from... Oh, I thought that was somebody I know joining. All right. Predictions for next year. I think I'll probably... Let's try to guess...
Let's go team by team.
Let's try to guess which team is going to be my new favorite team next year.
Well,
what's your favorite team at the end of this year? At the end of this
the
season?
Bears.
Bears?
Listen, I pick a new team every year, but I ride that one team all the way.
He's loyal to a point.
Yes.
Let's go team by team. I'm going to
Okay.
start with Washington. Okay.
Okay.
My bold, let's do a bold prediction for each team. Or
Okay.
an observation, okay? The Washington football team. My prediction is that they will, in true Dan Snyder form, sign Joe Flacco to be their next quarterback.
I think Josh Johnson starts week 1 next year.
Boom. I would prefer that.
Yeah, well, wouldn't we all? But yeah, your prediction's probably correct because it's the more miserable one. Tennessee Titans.
We should also mention Darius Geis will be hopefully back.
I forget he exists sometimes.
Right, but we can't. So Darius Geis, those of you in keeper leagues, don't forget about him.
Okay, Tennessee Titans. Oy. They're a team that I think kind of has to do something at the quarterback position.
You think they got to move away from...
I mean, they have to get another option. The guy's hurt like 4 times a year. I like Mariota. I liked him coming
And it's
into
not
the
like
league.
they aren't paying that O-line.
Right. But he takes, the hit that he took against Washington on Saturday was a crushing
And that's
hit.
a mechanics issue.
Yeah. And I don't think he's able to correct some of those mechanics issues because he's always hurt, and they have to have
he always has a new coordinator.
They have to do something. Did you see my tweet about? Did you watch True Detective season 1?
Yes.
Blaine Gabbert has like transformed almost perfectly to Rust Cole. It's something I've been tracking the last year because he got that mustache last year. I was like, he looks a lot different than like the pretty boy he came to the NFL.
Sure.
Yes, but okay. So
what about Derrick Henry? Where do we draft him next year? How much do people remember the last month of the season versus the first 3?
Well, yeah. The question is this a true
revelation
breakout? Is this a true step forward, or is it a mirage? I'm gonna go with probably. I'm going to say step forward. I think Derrick Henry rushes for 1,000 yards next year and scores 10 touchdowns.
As someone who drafted Derrick Henry and was not able to play him in the playoffs because he didn't produce me enough to get me there, I am still going to say step forward because I read that interesting piece about, which I believe was on Yahoo Sports platform.
Great website.
Indeed.
Been around a while.
About how he texted Eddie George, and Eddie George has taken him under his wing and helped improve his mechanics, speaking of mechanics and that. So I am a sucker for those kinds of players taking it upon themselves to improve their game, and it's showing up. So I will also say step forward, but I ain't going to draft him again early.
Yeah, I would probably agree with you.
Ravens. Baltimore. Lamar Jackson remains the team's quarterback. I don't think that's particularly bold.
I will say he completes 62% of his passes next year.
Do the Ravens rely on a single tight end ever?
No.
No.
Maybe they could just pretend that Mark Andrews is the tight end they drafted in the first round.
Should have been Hayden Hurst.
Maybe Mark Andrews is going to be better.
Or Nick
Baker
Boyle,
Mayfield.
or Max with 4 X's. Or Crocker Gilmore. I'm taking it back that far.
Baker Mayfield, who is, of course, God amongst men at this point in his NFL career, the savior of Cleveland. He really liked Mark Andrews. He hyped him up. So
yeah,
I think Andrews gonna be a nice sleeper.
Los Angeles Chargers. Oh, could they be going to the Super Bowl this year?
No.
I mean, it's a 2019 prediction.
But they're not going to go to the Super Bowl this year. Stop booing Baker in the chat, please. Be professional. I think that the Chargers next year. I think Hunter Henry goes for over 900 yards next year as a pass catcher.
I think that really negatively affects Mike Williams' production unless they get rid of Tyrell Williams.
Which I feel like Tyrell's got to have his contract expire soon.
Soon, right. Cincinnati Bengals.
Will we care about them by week 8?
Tyler Boyd had AJ Green. That would be an interesting thing. Does Tyler Boyd... I think I would... I don't know, man. Tyler Boyd, depending on his ADP next year, might be someone as long as I know that AJ Green can stay on the field. Basically, this offense is Joe Mixon, though.
Yeah, Tyrell's contract runs out after this year.
Okay, so maybe that stays out. I do think Andy Dalton remains the quarterback for the Bengals.
Joe Mixon leads the NFL in rushing next year.
Dig it. It's Cleveland Browns.
Baker Mayfield is the 2019 MVP.
Wow, I don't hate it. You know what I hate? I hate how much I love Baker Mayfield.
Baker hype!
I love him. I hated him. Kendall, I hated him. I hated the heat cookie, the whole thing, and he has totally won me over. This city deserves a little bit of swag.
He's just fun.
Cheers.
Yeah.
And also, he believes his convictions, and how refreshing is it not to have some Autobot like Russell Wilson who's dead behind the eyes talking, and you've got Baker Mayfield ghosting Marvin Lewis.
Hugh Jackson.
Yes. Or Hugh Jackson, thank you.
You called him Marvin Lewis on the show today, too, but it's hard to tell the difference between the two guys. Like, they're basically attached at the hip, Like, that's going to be the new head coach, Hugh Jackson.
They're like the two-headed monster from Sesame Street.
Oh, my God.
Buccaneers. I think Jameis Winston stays the team's quarterback.
1,000,000%. I don't even think that's a bold prediction at this point. Will Ronald Jones reach 500 yards rushing next year?
Rojo, I'm there for it, baby. I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Because talk about a guy that isn't like Darius Geis, has actually played this year, and I still forget exists.
Negative yardage to the year, I think, were his totals. Not great.
That's disgusting. We get a question from the chat. What's happening in the Green Bay game right now? And what's happening is they're trailing to the New York Jets. Talk about Sam Darnold taking that step forward. I still think this staff turns over, but whoever coaches the Jets, it might be a sneaky good job to take over. That's prediction.
I love that Equanimous St. Brown, if we're going to make a prediction.
Are you an ESB truther?
I love ESB. You too? Matt, here's something you guys don't know. We have very similar tastes when it comes to receivers. Sterling Shepard, Tyler Lockett, ESB. I had ESB ranked
Chris
like
Godwin.
Chris Godwin, that's another one. I had him ranked overall number 6.
Yeah, I mean, he fell in the draft because he's a weirdo. And his family.
His dad's a weirdo.
But you heard the quotes where he's like, "I'm not gonna be stretching, or I'm not gonna play special teams, or whatever." Like, bro, you're gonna go on the third day of the draft.
It's so funny he said that though, because like stretching is the one piece of his game he needs to do. I've said like in my write-ups, my scouting rep, he needs some yoga in his life because he's so stiff, and he could high point despite his height even more if he was able to just get a little bit of that downward dog up in there.
He's like a Martavis Bryant to me. He's a straight line guy, good on
not
crossing
character-wise,
routes. No. Oh, well, I'm just talking about as a player.
Yeah.
All right, so back to predictions. What the hell are we doing?
We are on the
Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott gets signed to a contract that everybody vomits at. Who? Cowboys just clinched the NFC East. Did the Eagles lose, or they haven't? Or well, on per this feed, I think they're about to lose.
A field goal? No. They're going to try to kick a field goal to win. The Vikings.
Oh, Nick Foles was drilled into the ground by Jadeveon Clowney. We might see that here soon on our feed.
Oh, okay.
We're a little behind here on this one, but that's life when you're streaming. Anyways, I think Dak Prescott gets signed to a contract that everybody vomits at.
Oh my god!
And there goes Jared Goff.
Jared. What? I can't fill right now. You're gonna have to talk.
Good thing I'm a Bears fan. That's all I'll say. Vikings. I think Dalvin Cook is a player who could be top 5 in rushing yards next year.
Heck yeah. His versatility. I hope, because people have like underrated him all season.
He's a very good player.
He's also got durability concerns, but name a running back that doesn't.
Yeah,
I'm tired of it. Detroit Lions.
There's a team I'm tired of. Where would you set the over under on yards for Kenny Golladay next year?
1,000.
Oh, come on, be a little more bold than that. Isn't this supposed to be
1,200?
bold? All right, this is supposed to be a bold prediction segment. You know.
Okay.
15. No, I'm just kidding.
1280.
Right now, before this game, he had 1,000. So.
That's what I had predicted him for. I had predicted him for 1080 on the season heading into this year.
He's got 10:05 coming into this. So, and 5 touchdowns.
I'll go under. So, fine, 1235.
I like
over
it.
Under 1235.
There we go. And we're going to say he's over because #bold predictions. What
do they do in the slot next year? Like Bruce Ellington, I don't care. Here's a tip for next year. Anytime a fantasy expert said, well, Bruce Ellington, no. That dude's going to sneeze and hurt himself. Bruce Ellington is not built to play in the NFL. I'm sorry if that's mean. I'm not either. It's not going to happen for him. Stop it.
I had to leave set while you were slandering Bruce Ellington.
Listen, in San Francisco, I was all into it, and then come on.
And he hurt
He's
his
just
hamstring.
not built. He's not built for the game.
Fair enough, but he can do that stuff where he comes out there and gets 7 catches for 60 yards.
Oh, great. You can maybe be a flex when you're healthy on a team with a sputtering offense.
There we go. All right, Bills.
Bills are frisky, man. Bills next year. There is so much.
Go ahead, say it.
Josh Allen could be somebody.
I think he could. I mean, he's a playmaker.
He's like Ryan Mallett with legs.
He's like Tim Tebow, but better.
Sure.
That's the real comparison. Yeah. Is he's Tim Tebow, but better. Yeah, I have no idea.
Robert Foster, breakout candidate for 2019.
Oh, I
Robert
like that. That's a good
flipping Foster.
That's a good call.
Absolute money. Was cut by the team in week 4. Went down to the practice squad. Came back in week 10. Has scored has went over 90 yards in 4 of his last games. In his last 4 games.
There you go.
Keep an eye on him. 4.1 speed.
Let's speed through these so we can get the hell out of here. All right, Patriots. Gronk and Brady both retire this offseason.
Okay, Green Bay Packers.
They win the NFC North by a 2-game margin next year.
The New York Jets. Robbie Anderson is how many touchdowns for Robbie Anderson on the season? Over under 9.
Le'Veon Bell rushes for 1,000 yards on that team.
Oh, well, give me the Robbie Anderson.
What was the question again?
Over under 9 touchdowns.
Under.
Okay. Texans. Deshaun Watson makes it 16 games.
I mean, he's going to make it 16. Well, knock on wood here somewhere. He's going to make it 16 games this year.
There's a need for a number 2 receiver here. They've got to draft somebody. Will Fuller cannot stay healthy.
Or tight end.
Thomas might be done. And Jordan
Thomas
isn't doing it here. So they need a tight end. That'll take some time to develop. I think if they got a speedy number 2, that would help out DeAndre Hopkins, who's, more physical than speed. But the catch radius on him is insane. Philadelphia Eagles. They need a power element in their backfield. I think they draft somebody. This year's draft offensively is not great, though.
No, it is not. That is a sneaky storyline going into the offseason that there's some good receivers. I know our friend Baby Zach would be very confused if we didn't mention N'Keal Harry, the receiver out of Arizona State. It's Arizona State, right? Yeah, Arizona State. Because he went there and he's excited about that. So.
Right. I like Bryce Love a lot out of Stanford, the running back, who's, one of these space backs a la CMC. But he's often hurt.
Yes.
That's a problem.
But in terms of the Eagles, Golden Tate, doesn't he need a new contract?
I think it's a 1-year prove it, right?
Yeah. So I say they don't re-sign him and he goes sign somewhere else.
Maybe back to Detroit.
Yeah, go back to Detroit. Wouldn't that be great?
The Falcons, everyone's getting fired but DC. They're losing their defensive coordinator. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
DQ, I should say. Their DC is definitely getting fired, and Sark, he's had too many chances.
Okay.
I don't think he's a particularly fantastic human.
Calvin Ridley hits
Also, Tevin Coleman will not be
yards.
on the squad.
Oh, yeah.
Ito Smith is the guy to watch there.
The Carolina Panthers.
It's your team. We're not going to be a Cam Newton. Second shoulder surgery since 2017 on that right shoulder.
May or may not have to have surgery, but I think he does.
He is going to have surgery.
If Cam is healthy and plays 16 games, I think DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel both go over 900 yards.
I don't think you need a big-armed quarterback to service either of those gadgety receivers, so it's completely unnecessary. Any quarterback can do that for you.
All right, Giants. Eli Manning starts 16 games for this team next year, and we all hate our lives.
Sexy Eli.
Oh, not even a little bit. Colts win the AFC South, and Marlon Mack rushes for 1,200 yards.
I dig it. As long as that O-line can stay healthy. They need a number 2 receiver.
Oh, yeah.
That's a team that needs to draft a number 2 receiver. Yeah. Wow, they need a perimeter guy. Just a nice possession option.
I agree with you.
Jaguars.
Joe Flacco. I'm gonna take away your first bold prediction and say Joe Flacco starts week 1 for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Who else could be in play for the Jags? Eli Manning?
Eli's going back to the Giants. The
Eli's
fix is
also
in.
not going to go. Well, Coughlin could bring Eli
I guess.
with the promise of winning because of that relationship down to Jacksonville.
Yeah, but there's no promise of winning. That team is miserable. They had their window. It's over. Dolphins. Adam Gase gets fired in a few weeks and
goes to the Packers. And the Bears are like, what?
Well, I think he
rivalry.
I think he gets an OC job like that, and I like the way you think about that because I think the Packers could go defensive head coach and then try to get a young hotshot offensive coordinator.
So maybe Mike Pettin gets the promotion to HC.
Maybe, or they poach Vic Fangio.
No,
the Bears as the head coach.
Never.
Matt Harmon becomes a Packers fan. No, I'm just kidding. I would never.
Oh, my God. I mean, I still love the Bears. That can never happen.
That's totally what's going to happen. Now we've decided that. All right, LA Rams.
No, LA Rams win the Super Bowl next.
Sure. Arizona Cardinals.
LA Rams get some depth behind their O-line. They also maybe... they need depth. They just need to work on depth.
David Johnson
returns
goes
to
RB1 1,000.
Yes.
Chicago Bears. Mitch Trubisky is an all-pro quarterback.
Stop it. He's Rex Grossman.
No, he's not. He's better than Rex Grossman.
Anthony Miller has another breakout season.
Allen Robinson and Anthony Miller, top 5 wide receiver core in 2019.
Fine. 49ers. Dante Pettis has himself a year. No? There's no Pierre Garçon.
They trade Jimmy Garoppolo, Nick Mullins. No, I'm just kidding. No, I like the Dante Pettis call. They're a really intriguing team. I mean, where do you go on offense?
Jarek McKinnon is going to be back?
Yeah, someone asked about Jarek McKinnon in the chat. Will he have a good season coming off injury next year? He's another guy I forget exists. But he's an intriguing weapon.
Depending on how the hype machine over the summer works, those might be value grabs. Like
Breida,
right
too.
now,
I think Breida is very good. even if he's never
so
healthy.
Injured though. But also Jerick McKinnon. The reason I was so high on him was because Kyle Shanahan loves him. Kyle Shanahan grinded all of the free agent tape, all of the free agent tape, and was like, "This is the guy for my scheme. He is money." I think they should fire Ray Wright, who's their conditioning coach. Frankly.
Yeah, they've had a lot of injuries this year. The Steelers.
I mean, does Big Ben retire if they get to the big game? I would love for them to
just go the hell away. They fall into the ocean and never heard from again.
That's not a bad. T.J. Watt continues to develop as a
15 sacks next year.
Sure. All right.
New Orleans Saints
win the Super Bowl against the Steelers.
Boom. Kansas City Chiefs.
Pat Mahomes' money.
Yeah, they're the best team in the NFL for the next 5 years. They're a dynasty. They are the next dynasty.
No.
Yes.
No.
They have all the pieces. They have a quarterback unlike anything we've seen.
So, who does he remind you of?
Nobody. He
reminds me of Aaron Rodgers. And how many championships have the Packers won?
Because
of coaching and clock management. And what does Andy Reid fail at continuously? Clock management.
But come on, it's not even close between who's a better play caller between Mike McCarthy and Andy Reid. Yeah,
sure.
There's definitely some clock management issues, no doubt about it. I would love to see the Chiefs be progressive in that department and hire a specific clock management guy. That would be great.
Somebody who's got a timer. Stop.
Yeah, stop
now.
Seattle Seahawks.
They need a receiver.
Yeah, well, they just signed Tyler Lockett to extension. Doug Baldwin is
old and hip hurt.
Mm-hmm. David Moore is not as good as
David Moore's not bad, but he's just
Baby Zach tried to convince me that he's better than Robert Woods.
David Moore?
Yeah.
Baby Zach.
Little bit of a
Baby Zach.
Baby Zach gets more pop on this show than anybody else on the planet.
Also now I just say Baby Zach to his face.
That's really bad. I feel bad about it, kind of.
Baby Zach is tall too. He's tall like you.
Yeah, he's tall guy.
I didn't realize that.
He's slender, unlike me, who's regressing into fat land.
You don't have those gross tattoos.
True. Broncos. Deshaun Hamilton catches 100 passes next year.
I don't care.
Okay.
There's a new
Raiders definitely don't care. Who cares?
They might play their home games in London, which I think would be awesome. So Yahoo Sports can send us to London, and we can make London-themed cocktails for you from...
When we never make holiday cocktails again.
Mocktails?
Anyways, so this has been a lot of fun.
I think so. I've had a great time
myself. We had bold predictions.
I drank an entire hot toddy.
You actually drank all that?
Mm-hmm.
It's
better warm.
I guess. We had a lot of fun. If you guys enjoyed hanging out, feel free to tweet at us at LizLoza_FF, at MattHarmon_BYB, or at Yahoo Fantasy. Give us your takes on things. We enjoyed hanging out with you here, making some of the worst drinks I've ever had in my entire life. And
be sure to listen to the podcast which is the Yahoo Sports Fantasy Podcast, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Boom. And with that, let's please mercifully get out of here.
Happy holidays! Happy Wheat 16.